Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omongbe.
I am Taya Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
All right, this morning we're starting with Nigeria Women's Football Premiership, and of course, match day 4 will get our attention today.
Right.
But we'll be focusing on 2 games. Of course, it's in Lagos. You have FC Robo will be hosting Pelican Stars, and also the Dream Stars ladies. Well, they haven't won a game yet. We'll see if when they host Ibom Angels today, they can at least break that winless run.
Yes, fingers crossed. We'll see how it pans out for all the clubs involved in match day 3-4 fixtures later today. Also on the show, still talking football. The match between Rivers United and Bloemfontein Celtic of South Africa, that's a CAF Confederation Cup clash, has been called off.
Yes.
We'll be giving you details of that later on the show.
And CAF already said they want to set up a competent body to look into it and decide on the appropriate course of action to follow. Fingers crossed is what's going to happen in this game. Also on the program, Tottenham, they are in, the finals of the Carabao Cup. Now, the last time Tottenham won a trophy was 2008.
Yes.
And of course, Jose Mourinho, what Mauricio Pochettino couldn't do all these years. But Jose Mourinho is just, like a game away from getting their first trophy after more than a decade. Spurs
are Wembley bound. They'll be taking on either Man City or Manchester United in the final in April. It's not yet. It's time to start saying congratulations. Anyway,
they are just in the final, so Tayo, just wait for that. But the good news is they will be facing any of the Manchester clubs. So
exactly. And then the final for the first time in 6 years, a domestic cup final.
And we know that Carabao Cup is clearly written for Manchester City. They won it 3 in a row. Well, all right, let's start with the NBA.
We'll come back to Spurs and Tottenham later on. Let's start with the NBA games that played last night / early this morning. 5 games in total. And let's start up with the matchup between the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz. It was Brooklyn winning 130-96. Kyrie Irving played a crucial role in that victory. Of course, the Nets were playing without KD. Was COVID-19 issues and all of that.
So he's
self-isolating. And the Nets still managed to get a win in that game. Karis Levert as well too had a very good game. The Lakers 94-92 over the Memphis Grizzlies. There's a 4th straight win for LA now, and they're starting to find their rhythm. And I won't be surprised, Cecilia, if they go into double digits in terms of their winning streak. Very early in the season.
It's early in the season with all the teams floundering and all that, having 5-3, 5-4, 6-2 and all that. Lakers happens to be the one just a shoulder above the rest. Well, it's expected. They are the champions, right?
Of course, exactly. The Timberwolves against the Denver Nuggets ended 123-116 in favor of Denver. Nikola Jokic was the star of the show. We'll be telling you more about the performance of the big man shortly. The Spurs, they managed to end a 4-game skid with a 116-113 victory over the LA Clippers. And last but not the least, it was the Chicago Bulls defeating the Portland Trail Blazers 111-108. Zach LaVine with a dagger to the heart of the Trail Blazers. All right.
Okay.
Let's start off with the Clippers. Losing.
Okay, losing, yeah.
They
had a late rally, but it just wasn't too big. It wasn't too late.
Too late.
Because the Spurs, of course, I mean, if you check the form of the Spurs this season hasn't been great. And for Clippers who are like, win one and lose one, so you don't really know what to expect the next time. But then Paul George wasn't playing, but that's not an excuse, of course.
Patty Mills.
Just not good.
Played great for San Antonio, hitting a career high 8 3-pointers and scoring 27 points off the bench in that game. And,
in 28 minutes.
Yeah, and that went a long way in ending the 4-game losing streak for San Antonio. San Antonio also got 21 points for Jonte Murray. Rudy Gay added 16 points. LaMarcus Aldridge scored 14 points, while Kendon Johnson grabbed a career high 11 rebounds. And
Kawhi Leonard, of course, he had 30 points, but that just wasn't enough.
Yeah,
not
30
enough,
and 10. Not enough.
Double on the nights.
Yeah, but wasn't good enough. I imagine if Paul George had played, I would have definitely complimented
little bit of contribution.
the effort.
But why do we
Kawhi.
always, why, I mean, Clippers are having a problem right now. If maybe one of the stars are not playing, there's a problem. When Kawhi Leonard was out, Paul George couldn't, I mean, that's when they had that scandalous loss and all that by 51 points margin. And now you're having Paul George out. So
it's not
I'm like,
straightforward. First of all, carry on.
Yeah, okay? I understand. My point is, I think this team, I mean, Tyler should be able to carry this team to play without these two top stars.
Of course,
what happened when they're not when they're not available? Because it seems when anyone is not playing, there is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I expect stars like Patrick Beverly, fine. I mean, those guys really need to
step. It's not that straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Paul George has been playing great all season.
Of course,
he's averaging 25.1 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.1 assists.
As usual,
if you take out all of that from a team, you're bound to feel the effect. It's normal. So it's not left for the other players to step up, which some of them did last night. Patrick Beverly, for example, doesn't score a lot of points. He finished with 20 points on the night.
Which is great.
Nicholas Batum as well, too, was very decent, 21 points.
But yet they couldn't just beat Spurs.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not that straightforward. We need to give a lot of credit to the
other players that step up. Or to Spurs, right? Now you're talking because Spurs have been having like a very bad run.
Exactly,
4 in a
so
row.
they didn't want to lose
the big Clippers. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's get reactions from that game. I agree with you on this one.
Let's take a listen to the coach of the Clippers, Ty Lue, as well as Kawhi Leonard.
It clearly doesn't want to talk
Leonard
much.
doesn't say a lot. To get him to just say, talk for a few seconds. It's a very, very hard job.
Try Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, that's even worse. One-word answers. It's very annoying.
I'm very, very
concerned. But I can understand.
Just talk for at least, give me 30 seconds.
They're disappointed that they've lost, and the manner in which they've lost again. Another slow start.
They had a very good rally and tried to actually come back.
But you can't afford to always put yourself in a hole.
That's why the coach was talking about transition play and all that, which they didn't really get right. And hopefully they can get that right. Talking about the Lakers, of course, they are not letting it up at all. These guys are telling everyone, look, we've got the title, we're keeping it.
It was a very, very gritty win over the Memphis Grizzlies, 94-92. I mean,
it was really close.
Story. Anthony Davis and LeBron James scoring 26 points apiece. They had to really rally and dig deep for this victory. James also added 11 rebounds and 7 assists, while Dennis Schroeder finished with 12 points for LA.
A good one for them because Lakers stars talking about AD and LeBron James became the third pair of teammates in the past 10 years to have 25+ points and also 10+ rebounds in the same game without committing a personal foul. That's according to stats. And these guys are just great. Yeah,
they're great. LeBron and AD, the best combination, the best star combination in the NBA right now. They also combined for 15 points late in the fourth quarter to take the lead at 92-83 with 31.1 seconds left. And after the game, of course, the coach, Frank Vogel, has had very nice things to say about them. It's all about getting a W,
that's
and that's exactly what the Lakers have done. 4 wins on the road. Fantastic.
Great one.
All right.
I know they can continue like that. I won't even want to stop.
Exactly. Let's take a look at our standout performers on the night. Just the 4 of them. Starting with Donovan Mitchell. 31-4 and 4 on the night for the Utah Jazz, although they just couldn't beat the Brooklyn Nets in that game. Next up is D'Angelo Russell. Yes, 33-3-11.
Surely and quietly, he's just having a good run.
But then when you're playing
they slumped to 2-5. They won just 2 games, losing 5 this season. That's what Timberwolves.
They lost against the Denver Nuggets. Next up is Nikola Jokic, the big man, the best big. Okay, the most skilled big man in the NBA.
Exactly,
best. Because AD fans will tell you, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Exactly. The most skilled in terms of passing and court vision. It's all about Nikola Jokic. 35, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists.
He was the one that wasted D'Angelo Russell's points.
Exactly. Last but not the least is Kawhi Leonard. 33 and 10. Not good enough as well for W. All right. That's it for basketball. Let's go to the tennis courts now. And
Interesting, the season has started already, right?
Not starting on the greatest of not starting on the most ideal situations because of COVID. Incredible, Cecilia.
Well, you know, last year we were talking about the fact that by 2021 COVID will be over. Vaccine is here, and of course everything. But the second wave is scary. I mean, people should just be careful out there because we don't know how much disruption COVID-19 is going to have on sports right now. Because the good thing is, I mean, sports are continue, so countries are trying to just manage the situation. That's why in England, for instance, only elite sports can go on. So gym and all that and everything, they've all been closed. And the Lagos is also trying to take that cue on. I mean, people shouldn't gather necessarily and all that and everything. So we just try as much as possible to be safe. But then talking about Australian Open, players are already preparing.
Yeah, I mean, even Australian Open as well, too, the restrictions are so tight and the players don't like it, but they don't really have a choice.
Needed.
It's needed. It's a necessity, and that's why they need to just get on with it. And for Sophia Kenin, had a breakthrough last season, world number 4 now. She's getting ready for the Australian Open as well, to where she is a defending champion. She's in Dubai, but in Dubai as well too. The restrictions are very, very harsh. And Kenin kind of understands why that is the situation.
Welcome back. Okay, you guys can talk to us on our Twitter handle what you think about Enyimba. What can they do to be able to overturn that 3-0 deficit against Al-Merrikh of Sudan today? They will be playing at home, so all they need to do is score 4 goals and get into the next round. Can they do that? Enyimba fans, talk to us this morning. Also, we'll be talking about the Carabao Cup, of course. You know, Tottenham, Jose Mourinho, is looking forward to getting his hands on his first trophy. I know that any of the Manchester clubs will be the one that will prevent him from doing that in Wembley in March. But then they were able to get into the finals, which is key. Also, Nigerian Women League, which one are you looking forward to, seeing? FC Robo, and of course you have Ibom Angels, Pelicans, and also Dream Stars. All of them are playing in Lagos today at 4 p.m. Talk to us about that and so much more.
Of course, the Manchester Derby as well.
Manchester Derby. Yeah. Today. Yeah, tonight. Manchester Derby, but it's Carabao Cup. So
but it's still a big game. I mean, United, for example, last season it got to several semi-finals, just couldn't go on into the final. They don't want that to happen again. So it's going to be a very interesting match. United fans, what do you think about that game? Do you think you have what it takes to end the reign of City as the champions of the League Cup? All right. I
think you guys must be tired of seeing City. Okay, we've got a guest in the studio right now. How are you? Happy New Year, Olivia. What's up?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, so relaxed, so refreshed. Happy holidays.
What's in the air in
I don't get it. Anyone that's coming from there, they're always like
from Lagos.
Well, you know the hustle and bustle of Lagos, and I'm always glad to be out of Lagos. But I'm excited to be here, guys.
Yeah, it's good to have you, really. It's great to have you. I mean, you didn't have to spend 2 hours on New Year. Remember on New Year Day, we spent 2 hours in traffic.
Incredible.
Together, 2.5 hours.
Don't get to experience that.
That's
New Year's incredible.
New Year's Day,
New Year, new
the
stuff.
first of the year.
Yeah.
It's only at 6 p.m.
New Year,
well, it happens.
Old, yes.
Okay, thank you. I mean, Austin will also be joining us. Yeah, Austin is in London. He'll be joining us this morning. Austin, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo. Good to see you. Happy New Year, guys. This is the first time talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
Everyone. It's 2021, and it's good to be on the show again.
Thank you. All right. Okay, let's get it started with what's happening on the continent. I mean, we'll start with, of course, the one that will be played. I mean, the Enyimba game and, of course, the Al-Merrikh of Sudan. What's going to happen in that game? It's like everyone is already giving it to Enyimba. Just forget about it. I mean,
giving it to Enyimba?
No, I mean, telling Enyimba to forget about it. It's over for them. And they don't stand a chance. They can't score 4 goals. But I think Enyimba can actually do that.
Really?
If they concede 3 away, so score 4 at home.
I think it's highly unlikely. I think we have to be very realistic. And for Enyimba to concede 3 goals away from home and not even scoring the precious away goal, I think they've dug their own grave. And I think it's very difficult for them to turn this over. They might get a victory today against America, who are well prepared. I heard they flew into the country with their own private jet, got their own water.
Yeah.
You know, it just shows that these guys should live in business and they're probably running football better than we could imagine.
You said the word already.
So they look like they're even here to even grab a point or a win. So now imagine assuming Ayimba would not get 3-4 goals. That's very unlikely to see. I think Ayimba could get a victory today, but definitely not going through.
Wow. There you go there. Toby definitely not very optimistic about the chances of Ayimba. But I don't know about Austin, though. Yeah. Austin, I mean, maybe perhaps you're in London over there. What do you think is going to happen today? Ayimba, can they just miraculously, somehow, get 4 goals without conceding any?
It's going to be tough. What I know that will happen today is that they will play football. That's definitely going to happen. Let me stay with what I told the guys last night. I went to Ayimba's Twitter page, and what is pinned there is belief comes first. And I think they need all level of optimism that they can get. I think they need to be very positive. I think they need to believe in themselves. Impossible is nothing in football, but they've put themselves in a very, very difficult situation. Almeric, of course, comes with a lot of pedigree with African football, and they understand what it means to play this sort of second leg fixture with some sort of negativity. Take, for instance, they're coming into the country. They communicated with the NFF first brief. We're going to come with Egypt Air. And then the NFF sent people to different locations, one to Port Harcourt, to Lagos, one to Abuja. They didn't come. And then suddenly they appeared with a chartered flight on the 2nd, just to disturb you, just to let you know that, look, we're going to frustrate you so that you don't use us to make any footballing history. The good side, Ayimba. With what I've seen, their match against Abia Warriors, Coach Fatah Osho's team needs to do a lot in terms of understanding his team and really bringing out the potentials of the players. If I see the sort of lineup that I saw in Omdurman, then I'm just going to say it's game over. Maybe he needs to tweak it so that they don't get to know, the level of style and then the players that he used in the first leg. Defenders need to wake up. They consider very silly goals in the first leg. You consider any goal in Aba, it's game over.
I mean, fans have been talking about him trying to play Mbaoma as their main striker, which they said he's really not doing and all that.
The fans are not the coaches. They don't know. They don't know what's going on.
That's why I'm asking him the question right now. I mean, Austin just mentioned that if he sees the same lineup against, the one he saw in Sudan and all that, it simply means they're just ready. They're looking forward to losing the game and all that.
I think one thing Austin said that is very key is Ayimba should not concede. They must not concede. I don't care how many goals they think they can score or that they end up scoring, but they must not concede, because the moment they concede a goal, I think it's just game over. Especially if they concede first, I think it's just game over.
You're not need to score 5.
But Toby, you're a coach as well too, right? So I mean, you're 3 goals down. So there's a tendency to want you to start fast, so you can start, clawing back the deficit. So how do you find the balance between going all out and then exposing yourself at the back and letting Almeric perhaps score another goal, away goal, which pretty much means the tie is done and dusted?
Yeah, I think in this kind of situation, I think it's more psychological than even tactical.
Okay.
The players need to know and they need to believe that they can do it, and then they need to be patient about it. If they go in with the anxiety, we need to score, and then they start making silly mistakes, silly fouls, or even leaving themselves exposed at the back, then everything goes, the whole game plan goes down the bin. But if psychologically the players are prepped and they believe in themselves and they know that they can score a first goal, then the second goal, then the third goal, and that's it. But when the players start getting under pressure and they start getting anxious that they want to score, they want to win, then everything, no matter the tactics, no matter the formation, no matter the strategy for the game, it all goes away. Because with that, you lose the game straight up. So I think the coach needs to psychologically work with the players going into the game that, listen, even if you don't score in 30 minutes, it doesn't mean the game is over. Just keep going. Just dominate the game. Ensure that you have the ball a lot and ensure that you are in the game. Because if they don't concede, they are still in the game. It took America 90 minutes to score 3 goals. Yeah. So as long as they don't concede
by one person. A hat-trick.
As long as they don't concede, I think Enyimba still stay in the game, but they need to score. They need to score goals.
Okay, that's what they need to do. They
Okay.
need to score goals. But
Fingers
then
crossed.
if they can score goals, obviously they will win. But the verdict coming out from you and Austin, it simply means they don't have a chance at all.
3-0 is such a big
Africa,
hole.
it's difficult.
It's a tough one. But impossible
we
is
can have
nothing.
the miracle of Abati.
Yeah, why not? All right,
bad
let's
news.
talk about the other game.
Yes,
That is
the
not going
one
to go
that
ahead.
is not taking place. They have been called off by CAF. I mean, there's a whole. I mean, when the whole thing started, we're expecting Bluefontaine. When are they going to fly in and all that? I mean, as of yesterday evening, they haven't come in, so there's no way they'll come in today because CAF already ruled that the game has been called off because NFF had to write to CAF. No, they requested a special permit, so to speak. When they come, I mean, they will be waived some of the COVID-19 protocols and all that. But we know what the PTF, the health ministry, has put in place because of the strain of virus that's happening in South Africa. So everyone coming in, you have to self-isolate. I mean, once you do your test and all that, you just stay before you can even fly to where you're going to, you know, and everything. But it wasn't waived for them. So as a result of that, so that game has been called off. So CAF is saying that they will have to set up a competent body within CAF to decide on the appropriate course of action to follow in this regard.
Yeah, we're in a unique time, and a lot of understanding and patience is required. You know, it's happening all over different leagues, different continents, and we just hope and pray that this goes away really soon.
Yeah.
It's ruining the sport we love. It's ruining our football, and we just need both clubs and also the governing body to take the best decision as appropriate. See what happened in the issue of Napoli and Juventus earlier in the season when Napoli couldn't make the trip to Juventus for the game. At first, they gave them a walkover. Then, when they considered there's an appeal. So, we're not really used to this scenario. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that will change. So I hope the best decision is done by CAF.
A best decision definitely will not be taking and throwing Rivers United out of the competition. Yeah. Anyways, Austin, how have we, got to this, situation? I mean, why is everything happening so late? I mean, the game is supposed to be played today, and we're just getting a word that the game has been postponed just a few hours ago. Why so late? I mean, we know what's been going on in terms of COVID.
And Tayo and Cecilia, if you guys can recall, the last time I was on this show, I was almost losing it on live TV that we are neglecting the little details that achieve success. Remember, I kept on harping on communication. Yeah. And we need to be more proactive. The first leg in Bloemfontein was played on the 23rd of December, guys. And it went so well for Rivers United. What you expect of a proactive team, either from the NFF, from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, or Rivers United, is to get on now, because we are no longer doing things the same way because of COVID-19. So you're going to play the second leg today, the 6th of January, 2021. SAFA says they wrote to the NFF on the 28th of December asking for a waiver for them to come into the country. NFF passed it on to Ministry of Youth and Sports. Ministry of Youth and Sports passed it on to the PTF. And then they were waiting for that approval, and that approval never came until yesterday that we saw that letter from the NFF writing to SAFA that they didn't get the waiver to come. What if we had started from the day we played that match and we won in South Africa? Oh, PTF, what does it take? Because these people need to come to our country to play the second leg. And can they come? What do we need them to do? What should we say to them? Please say something to us. Let's communicate to SAFA. Let's communicate to CAF. Guys, isn't that something to do to make progress? We didn't do all of that. Yeah. And now, my source, a reliable source, Cecilia Tayo, tells me, I got this message this morning that Nigeria is at the brink of losing out on CAF Confederation Cup because SAFA has asked that 3 points and 3 goals be awarded to Celtic.
There you go.
Do they have a point? Oh, yes, of course they do have a point. And now that CAF, Cecilia, from that message you read, listen to the tone of that message. Underneath is politics. We've allowed politics to come into this thing now. And so, if the decision doesn't go our way, you start crying. But it would have been avoided, guys. simple communication and communicate on time. And because now you know that we are not doing things the same way. COVID-19 has come to stay. What it has done is it has tweaked the way we live. It has given us more reasons to reflect, to ask questions. If you are to do anything, you need to do it with extra caution, with extra timing, with extra determination and details. We didn't do that. And that's a major problem. We keep forgetting that in sports, it's not only on the field you win. From the way you prepare, you can tell that you're already winning. We never learn.
I think that's, I mean, you had a summary of everything because I think it's lack of communication. Just maybe if we done it earlier, you know, I think, I don't know if you listened to what Danny Guerin was talking about yesterday about we not putting out information out there, wait till the very last minute to put out information out there, and which usually affects a whole lot of people. I think that's the case of this one. Just maybe at the 28th, as you mentioned, if maybe at the time 23rd when they played that game, and of course, they came back to Nigeria. And the next thing you pass that information on, these guys will have to come. So the Blue Fancy Celtic will understand if they will have to come into the country earlier than expected. But then you don't expect them to come 3 days to, and of course, they'll waive everything because every country, I mean, in Australia right now, the tennis champion, you have to quarantine for 14 days before you play the Australian Open. They don't care if you want to come or if you don't want to come. That is the rule. So you know ahead that, look, if I come into Nigeria, I have to stay for like 7 days or I have to fly in earlier than expected and not wait for the last minute to actually come. But I think just maybe Safa could have come in, Blue Fancy Celtic should have come in earlier into the country and self-isolate and follow all the protocol to be able to play the game.
We'll wait for the decision from the, from CAF, and hopefully it doesn't go against Nigeria.
Hopefully, because you can't lose those games.
I mean, how do you go away from home and win, and now you're supposed to come and consolidate because of logistic issues and all of that.
Anyways, health issues, not logistics.
Let's come back home and talk about the Nigeria Women's Football League.
For the Nigeria Professional Football League, we're talking about fans.
Fans are not coming back anywhere anytime soon. Cecilia, there's still COVID and the second wave and all of that, and we don't have a lot of time. So let's go to the NWFL Premiership.
Okay, all right, you're skipping that. All right, wanted to hear what's going to happen in the next few. Okay.
What's happening? Nothing is happening. Right? There's a second wave, still no gathering.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
so there's no hope at all.
No, not at the moment. So let's forget about fans going to stadiums and all of that. Let's talk about the Nigerian Women's Football League, a competition that is going on with our fans. Fixtures for match day 4. Yeah. There you go, Cecilia.
Okay. You have Nasira Amazons and Delta Queens to be in action. Bayelsa Queens and Confluence Queens also in action today. Sunshine Queens and Edo Queens will be in action away from home. Edo Queens picked up all 3 points when it came to Lagos. Hopefully they can do that again. Rivers Angels and Abia Angels will also be in action. Rivers will be at home. Royal Queens and Oshun Babes. Oshun Babes, another good traveler, be in action. Dream Star Ladies. These ladies, well, the dreams, okay? We'll see if one of their dreams will come true today. They're hosting Ibom Angels. If they can win that. The last home game they played was against Edo Queens. They lost by a lone goal. And, of course, the coach was even happy. I mean, Edo Queens will know the superstars that you have in the team. And losing by lone, so they were actually happy that
moral victory.
So more moral victory, You're right about that. FC Robo Queens and Pelican Stars. And there's the FC Robo, that's where you have the hat-trick queen talking about a Monday gift. Can she score another hat-trick to them? Maybe 2 or 3 goals. Pelican Stars, of course, we know what happened to the last season and all that. Coming into the league back, being able to rectify all the problems they had, and now they've started the season. Not really on a good note, but these are the games we're expecting for week 4 of the Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership. All
right, then. So we'll definitely be monitoring a lot of those games, and you get the updates in terms of results on the show tomorrow. Let's go to Lome.
Yeah, Golden Eaglets.
Golden Eaglets.
Golden Eaglets.
In action today against the Baby Elephants. It's a waffle beat competition. It's a competition serving as qualifiers for the Under-17 AFCON. It's a 3-team group, right? There's Nigeria, there's Cote d'Ivoire, and there is Ghana. I mean, it's a very tricky situation. You can't even afford to drop points. Not talk of lose your first game, which is against Cote d'Ivoire today. Yeah, and then there's the issue of the MRI that kept coming. The Eaglets, they were asked to come for the MRI, but there were reports that they broke the team into 2, a set of guys who have the MRI first, and the other set to have theirs on the day of the game, which is today. And then the coach of the team is saying this might be
sort of distraction because their opponents
Games.
arrived after them and they had already done their MRI test. You know, in Africa we get to hear these things a lot, and I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just like a desk attitude to do things. But we hope this doesn't deter the boys. We hope that they can go all out against the baby elephants and get the desired result because like Ty rightly said, three team group. You know, you have no reason or no excuse to drop points because 2 wins and you've qualified, and also with a win and a draw you can still qualify. But it's safer when you have your 2 victories on the bounce and then you go ahead. Unfortunately, FIFA, because of COVID, has cancelled the World Cup that was supposed to happen this year, but there's still the Nations Cup to look forward to in Morocco. So we hope the boys will be able to just have a smooth ride.
And not act like they are seniors.
You
You're under
remember
20.
what happened? Exactly.
What happened at that point? Because once you lose your opening game, it's always difficult to pick up. If they can win this one, despite MRI discrimination, all that discriminations, the coach, you understand that, yes, when you're picking players, just ensure that they're within the age. I mean, if they're within that, you shouldn't be afraid that they're having some policies being played and everything because you're afraid that maybe 1 or 2 players would,
He has assured us that he has the youngest team in the competition. So
brilliant. So
we hope the
we're not supposed to have
MRI
issues with that.
We hope the MRI scan will back that up because I think we've learned over the years, to always go into these competitions with really young players who fit into that, age bracket. So that shouldn't be an issue. But he's only worried that why are they having the MRI scan on the day of their game?
So close to.
That's what he's worried about.
Anyways,
we need to go on a break. Austin is still with us. We'll ask him one question about that golden eaglet when we come back. Austin is still with us. Austin, I mean, you heard what we're talking about, the golden eaglets and all that. Flying Eagles, when they went to Benin the other time, I mean, they flew, just the way they flew in, they came back by road. Yeah, they couldn't even fly, even coming back and everything because they couldn't qualify. But golden eaglets, they just 2 wins or a win and a draw. I mean, they're into the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's what it is. I remember you mentioned that if you lose your first match, then you're almost on the brink of elimination. With me at this level, I always preach development, and this provides us another opportunity to take a look at the next generation of superstars that might eventually make it to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So again, no pressure, but let's see a little bit of quality. Let's see the level of work that has been done with this team. Let's see the raw potential that they have that can be refined. Against Côte d'Ivoire, somehow, even when I preach development with this one, I want them to, in a way, avenge what happened with the under-20 team. The under-20 team failed to beat Côte d'Ivoire, and then they lost to Ghana. So let's see if they beat Côte d'Ivoire today, then they should just complete that revenge mission and beat Ghana. But I think a lot will be done good with this team, particularly if they do well at this competition. The vibes that the NFF showed at their last executive committee meeting shows that they want to give more attention to developmental football, and this is where it starts. So let's wish them all the best and then try not to put pressure on them. These are young lads. Hopefully they'll play good football today.
Hopefully.
Okay, 5 p.m. today. We'll find out. I mean, all MRI tests have been done and all that last night, so everyone, they're all good to go. Okay, let's quickly go to England. Carabao Cup, Tottenham and Brentford. And before the game, Jose Mourinho was saying it was the most important game. Why? Because, yes, you understand that when you're playing a cup game, it has to be important. You wouldn't want to lose to a team that has beaten how many Premiership teams? 4 Premiership teams. So they couldn't take anything away from Tottenham. They lost 2-0. They tried to come back. VAR marginal, ruled that off and everything. And the player was sent off. And, of course, not a vintage game, but then Tottenham are in the finals. That's what is important. Get the victory, no matter how you win. It
was good business by Tottenham. They went there, did what they need to do. And Mourinho, rightly, I must say, he said it is the most important game of his time at Tottenham. He's right, absolutely, because this is a team that has not won a trophy since 2008. They invested so much, they've developed so much incredible talent over the years, but that trophy has still been elusive, and that's why it was brought in. I remember Danny Levy mentioned when he was bringing in Jose Mourinho that he's bringing in someone that can win trophies for the club, and this is the closest that they've been in a while. And I believe with Mourinho in charge, I think that they can just sneak into that final and then just grab their hands on the silverware for the first time in over a decade. Yesterday, it wasn't the most brilliant game to watch, but you just saw the Tottenham team, a strong side, I must say. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised again because it's Mourinho. We know he loves to win trophies. Yeah. He loves this trophy, and he has been unsettling the rhythm of the Manchester clubs. Yeah. Out of the last seven Carabao Cups has been won. One out of the last 7 has been won by Chelsea. The remaining 6 has been won by the Manchester clubs. 1 out of that has been won by Manchester United. The remaining 5 by Manchester City. And guess what? The Chelsea side that won it was by Jose Mourinho. The Manchester United side that won it was by Jose Mourinho. And now it's coming again with the Tottenham side, and it's going to face the Manchester side in the final. I hope it's going to be a Pep side.
All right, then. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Musa Sissoko and Human Song. What a player, Human Song. Austin, quickly, Spurs are going to that stadium behind you in April.
Yeah, remember I told you guys that no chance. Though Brighton, they've done Brentford, they've done all the good things that they needed to do, but with Tottenham, it's game over because right after that game, Jose Mourinho reminded us that, look, in 2004, when I came to England, I told you that I don't play with the cup games, and it's about to give Tottenham their first trophy in 13 years if they get to beat either Manchester United or Manchester City in the final. So, and for him, he says, look, it's just respect for English football. It's respect for all of the teams, be it League One, Championship, or League Two. And Jose Mourinho, look at his vibes he has given us this season. He wants a trophy. He wants something. No wonder they started so well. No wonder they're still pushing. And now he's telling his team they need to stay focused because now is the time to prove a point that Tottenham can actually do something big in England. So shout out to Tottenham. I know with Jose Mourinho, they can do something. Let's see what they can do.
Let's see what they can do. I mean, he's not the only one aiming to actually get his hands on trophy. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer feels he has done a good job at United, and the only way that results can really be seen is for them to lay their hands on a trophy. And that trophy he's talking about is the Carabao Cup.
Let's get to the final first.
Austin, your prediction for this game before we let you go. Manchester clubs, Manchester United and Manchester City playing tonight.
But Cecilia, you know how difficult it is to predict these derbies. And Manchester United, they've got a good form going for them. Manchester City, they're a different sort of team in the cup competition. But just because I love what Ole has done with this United team for November and December, I'm going to tilt towards Manchester United. It's going to be a very difficult game, but they win either 1-0 or 2-1.
Good one. Thank you so much for joining us.
It wasn't so hard after all.
That wasn't so difficult. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you so
much. How about you, Toby, quickly?
I think I'll be opposing what Austin has said. I think I'll be cheating towards the Pep Guardiola side. He won the last 3 competitions, and I think he can win. He can get into the final. If he doesn't win it, I think he can get into the final and face the Jose Mourinho side. My prediction would be Manchester City win.
Okay, Man, he said 1 or 2 goals.
2-0.
2-0. Yeah. Okay.
Man United will just try to play counter-attack and get a penalty.
And get Chester. Okay, all right, let's take it. Just read 2-2 before look at the papers. We're running out of time now. Rahim says, I think Eimba should just focus on winning. Forget the goals. That's what Barcelona did against PSG in the UEFA Champions League. Concerning Manchester City and Manchester United and City, I think the blue side are gonna come out on top. But in football, anything can happen. And Idris Abiola says, not sure Eimba can turn the table. They have put themselves in a very different situation. Okay, that's coming from. I'll just take a look at the papers quickly. We're starting with Sporting Life. Yeah, Sporting Life. What do we have? And Sporting Life. Sporting Life here, we have Red Devils have no excuses. Man City don't have many players. That's Guardiola. That's what I say. Solskjaer insists they don't have many excuses. And City said they don't have many players.
Okay. All right, then let's go to Complete Sports. Chukweze's market value crashes by £5 million. It's not very good news at all. Ronaldo, the goal scorer of the century, of course. Not a surprise there. Liverpool joint race for Alaba. Onuachu Ai's first goal of the year. This guy's been in great form for his club in Belgium, for Bruges.
And the last?
Genk Gang, rather. Yeah. Osimhen, okay, didn't go to disco.
That's what he said at the same time. Yeah, a whole lot of stuff, right?
Was he in Ibiza? Yeah, I think it was in Lagos now.
Yeah, it was in Lagos.
Sporting Sons.
Yeah, Sporting Sons is the last one here. Chelsea draws up 4-man shortlist for Lampard's replacement. Shevchenko is favoured.
Really?
That's what you have on Sporting Sun this morning. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, we need to leave now. Thank you so much, Toby, for coming on the program this morning.
I'm glad to be here, guys. Good to see you again.
Hope to see you again, right? Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mwangbe. Have a great day.
I am Tayo Salam. See you again tomorrow.